There's just always something when it comes to Dingo Pictures and their ineptitude, which is very prevalent with their release of Jamie the Little Pig. Or is it Janis the Little Piglet? Dingo Pictures movies seem to like to add numbers or just completely change the title on almost every release they get, but sometimes these titles are at complete odds with the actual movie, which is the case with Jamie the Little Pig. Do you want to know what the main character is not named in this movie? Or any character at all? The German title, which of course they don't even bother changing on this DVD, correctly names the pig what they actually refer to it by in the movie, Janis.
By the way, what's your name?
Janis.
So why rename it Jamie for the DVD cover? I don't know, just to make it harder to figure out what you're actually buying, I guess. The same thing goes for this one, Winky the Little Bear. Guess what this one really is? The Countryside Bears. And you might recall that there was not a character named Winky in it. Hell, the story on the back barely knows what actually happened in it. After borrowing old Grummel's raincoat, you mean Grumpy, which is who I thought they were renaming to Winky, as that's the bear I'd say closest resembles the character on the "let's pretend this looks better than it actually does" cover. But apparently Winky is the one that was called Teddy, and he borrows an umbrella, not a raincoat, but close enough, cause it's one wet and wild adventure. Yeah, it was wet because of all the wind. Stupid Winky making me think you were a different movie. By the way, one of the bonus cartoons on the Winky DVD is Daffy the Commando, which is of course because it's in the public domain, but it is a rather weird one to be included with a cartoon from Germany. Jamie, or Janis, or whatever the hell it is one of the few Dingo Pictures movies that doesn't seem to have ever gotten one of those releases as a game with slide puzzles and coloring crap. Though this is the only one of these damn Dingo movies I got that came in a full-size DVD case. Though clearly the covering was still meant for a small DVD case. Yes, this is the really important stuff I have to tell you guys before talking about the stupid movie. Alright, let's dive into Janis, the Swischen Baby, which stuns us right away with an alternate angle from the Waboo title card. Who is not actually in this one, despite this taking place at the farm that he loves doing some of his axe murdering at. Awkward. Also awkward. The main inspiration for this Dingo masterpiece is of course Charlotte's Web, but the movie is missing both Charlotte and a web. It's probably also partly inspired by Babe, as they flat out named the Italian version of this Babe. Glad that release was cool enough to actually get the title card modified for it. The main way, though, this story resembles either of those films is it stars a pig. So instead, get ready for inane animal crap around a farm.
Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
He'll never learn. That French crowing will make him crazy.
That French crowing will never get that cock diamonds.
It's cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo, did you get it?
Shut up, you judgmental dog. You need to be more tolerant of cocks in every language.
Oh my god.
I pretty much expect that at this point, right, King Magard?
It's
It's not done.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Can someone turn that terrible rocket off?
Ooh, sweet. It's another one of their knockoff Aristocats characters. In Janis, though, this cat doesn't seem to know if it's supposed to be French or Italian.
Stop right now. It's enough for you to wake us at the crack of dawn. Shut up. I'll rip out your tail feathers.
Would a German accent have been too easy? You know, the Dingo voice actors, they really need to challenge themselves.
Let's challenge.
Stupid foul. Who said this foul to me? That's a royal insult.
I know words were said, I don't know what any of it was.
Come here, everyone.
Quick, put that goat on the witness stand! Though it can actually talk in this one, so I guess that'd be pretty stupid.
Monsieur Lecoq and Herman want to fight.
Monsieur Lecoq. Really, Dingo? Really? Uh-oh, are those birds up to something? Nah, it's just an animation they love to reuse. These birds aren't actually characters in this movie. Wow, this cat and cock feud sure is getting intense.
Stick to the rules. Everything's allowed.
I'm kind of annoyed here. This cat just butted in and stole the dog's cock feud. But whatever, now it's time for comical relief Nurse Duck.
Stop.
Whew, good thing that happened because things were getting too tense. Why does this damn duck have human hair? None of the other animals have hair like this. It's probably because it's from another one of their stupid movies.
Would you just stop? You want to walk around with an eye patch like you did 2 weeks ago, right?
Random animals laughing? Random animals laughing in a dingo cartoon?
That goes against my honor.
What honor do you mean, you crazy Gallic macho?
The hell's a crazy Gallic munchel? Wasn't this about a pig?
As her piglets.
Why is that cow mooing when the rest of the animals are talking? Learn English, you stupid cow, or get out of the country, am I right? Well, the damn piglets are finally born, so the title character actually exists now, but it was really important to first establish that the rest of the farm animals are annoying.
Are you the only one? There are usually more of you.
I'm the first one, but a few more came after me then. It got too cramped in there.
Freshly born and Janis knows English. That cow really has no excuse. And of course, Janis has that same Tio voice. They must flip a coin to see which of the two women that can actually speak English on these things has to voice the small animal star.
They were all over my mama, so I decided to wait and drink later. So, here I am.
That's right. I'm already familiar with the concept of nursing from my mother and awkward line reads.
You might notice that Janis sometimes has a tuft of white fur on top of her head, but sometimes doesn't. That dingo quality control. Yeah, that exists.
Oh, a sensible piglet. Where have you ever heard of that?
How many more are there of you?
I think 1, 2, 9, 13, 27?
Well, doesn't appear to be that smart after all.
I expect at least 9th grade math from all newborns. That pig can kiss my ass. If I had one. Oh, damn hell.
Stop! You stay here.
Huh?
Here on the farm, there are rules that everyone has to abide by. The first and most important rule is, I, Alex, am the boss.
That dog's not my boss. I didn't vote for him. Shit, that joke's pretty political. Though I don't know what the hell I'm saying with it.
Your job as a pig is to eat all the leftovers and get as fat as you can.
Rules are stupid.
Janis is one badass pig. She breaks all the rules.
Janis, you loose cannon, hand in your pig badge.
I don't need no stinking pig badge. I'm Janis Segal. Oh, what an accident. But it wasn't an accident.
I don't look anything like that pig. Stretch my shot. Stretch it!
Oh, 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 oh. Wow.
I guess if the animal's inconsistent talking thing wasn't odd enough, now we just have someone going, "Roo, roo, 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 roo." But the dog rightfully does need to stop this walking beside a fence. Pigs never would usually do that. The small pig is truly making a bigger mess day after day. What will that pig do next? Roll in the mud?
Oh, this is fun.
No way, Janis. You're a tame pig, not a wild pig.
Yeah, how unusual. That wacky Janis. Tame pigs never usually do that.
By the way, what's your name?
Janis. Janis, stay here is what my mother said as I left the barn.
Janis, well, we'll see about that.
Because I'm going to rename you, I guess. Maybe to Jen. That'd make too much sense. The scout's documentation is in order. Janis will now be known as my bitch.
Janis, there you are at last. You're off to a good start. Hardly in this world a moment, and you're up to disappear.
I'm thirsty.
Cutting that line off like that was really awkward.
Go and lay down with Dave, Dee, Dozy, Beaky, Mick, and Titch.
Those are some good pig names. I particularly like Dave the Pig. Also, there's that Dozy and Titch, whatever the shit that is.
Even ago, when I was young cub, I didn't want to sleep.
Yes, it's me, Colonel Pimpers the cow. Though since I'm male, I should be a bull, but I have udders, so you try to figure out what the hell I am.
And you seem quite in order. See you later.
Where did you learn such stilted speech, Janis? Oh yeah, in the womb, apparently. Janis then wanders right off the farm into the woods. I guess the fences are just for show on farm stupidity. This does, however, set off the owl alarm. Ugh, I hate when owls do that! I don't know if bumping into a rock is quite worth the same dramatic dun that was used when Tio jumped off a cliff. At least that one was actually dangerous, even if we did care the exact same amount as a pig bumping into a rock.
Da-da, here I come! Huh? Don't cry, I'll give first aid.
I'm really embarrassed. I was clumsy.
Oh, you don't have to talk. I'm going to give you first aid.
I don't need treatment.
You don't understand anything.
If you don't defend yourself against Gertrude, you'll soon be like a patchwork rug.
Why do you always clang like that? It gets on one's nerves terribly.
Once I ran away and then couldn't find my way home, and the farmer had to look for me all night.
Most of the animals on this farm are so stupid, but not as stupid as Farmer I Can't Close a Gate. I think I'll go take care of him right now.
He's hanging the spell on me.
Why don't you take it off?
But who'll take it off me?
Oh, of course, the pig will, you know, with its pig hands.
I could have actually done it, but I hate them all. Seriously though, screw 'em.
better get a new nurse. That duck's broken. This is why you don't hire empty ducks in the first place.
What a great feeling!
Now, just leave it lying somewhere, and if you get lost, I can bring it to you. Then, you can ring it, and the farmer can find you.
Someone put Janis back in the womb. She's not quite done yet.
Smart of Janis. That idea could have come from me.
I genuinely don't know if the plan is supposed to be stupid because these animals aren't that bright, or if the Dingo Pictures people really thought, yep, that's a solid plan. Anyway, I'm gonna go get lost. One of you guys bring my cell phone to me, okay? I'll just leave it right here.
I'm also glad the cat on Boots itself thought this was a good enough plan to try and steal credit for, dumb cat. You don't know anything.
And it isn't your idea.
Could have been.
But it isn't.
Could have.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Why? 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 Why?
Why are they in a park now? They were at the Waboo stream, then back at the fence, and now a park. I know you love reusing all your backgrounds, Dingo, but you could at least try to make a little bit of sense. But whatever, let's just hope that no one notices that Janis is dead already.
Oh, shit, I forgot my ass.
And me, what's my job? You just have to get big and fat so that you can be sold. Then you go to another farm and have your own piglets there.
Oh, damn, dog. Ain't having none of that shit. Glad we know now that animals also have the classic lie of they went to live on a farm.
I just fancy going back to the barn myself. Oh, that looks fun.
I know it's Dingo, but does some semblance of a plot ever start in this one?
If you weren't so little, I would tan your behind. That's what I do.
I mean, when you actually have one. Holy shit, my ass is grass and I already smoked it.
Go and wash yourself immediately.
Wash? Ick! I don't want to wash.
Oh, if you go and wash, you can have a drink from me.
Even if that was actually a cow, that'd be a really weird thing for a pig to do. But it's not. It's a bull wearing a fake udder, meaning that there can only be one thing actually under that. Whew! It sure was lucky that I started drinking for absolutely no reason out of this out-of-season mug right before that happened. But yeah, of all the things to happen in Dingo Pictures, I thought we were at least safe from fellatio.
At least Colonel Pimpers the Bull is happy. And the mother's only response is to say, stop drinking from there and drink from me?
I think it's cool. Maybe the old cock will give me some French lessons. What's his name anyway?
Colonel Cock-under-Udder. Oh, you meant the rooster.
He insists on being called Monsieur Lecoq.
I think Monsieur Lecoq is nicer.
Who cares? That cock is nothing but a cock. An SJW beta cock. Oh no, beta. Most of these idiots don't even know what the hell SJW or cock even means anymore. I just use it for a blanket term for people I don't like. Keep doing it. It makes you sound so smart.
I know already what cock-a-doodle-doo is in French. It's cock-a-doodle-coo, cock-a-doodle-coo.
You sound like such an SJW when you do that. Stop doing SJW jokes. I hate how they are offended at everything, but I'm ironically also easily offended if someone mocks me in my small cock. I mean cock.
Have you gone completely crazy?
I don't know what that goat said, but it was also offensive.
Dance, you dumb pig!
That's my bull.
I hope there's not pork in that dog food, though I'm sure we at least won't delve into cannibalism in this children's cartoon.
When it happens to be pork.
Damn it, Dingo!
You cannibal!
No, Janis, you would be the cannibal in this case, not the dog. Ugh, well, that's kinda messed up, but I think the dog was lying, as it looks like his diet consists entirely of walnuts.
That's normal canned dog food. It's not the pork.
But it says so right on the can. 40% pork.
You can't always believe what's on the can.
That cat makes a good point. We trust labels way too much. Very deep, Dingo. Ugh, what the damn hell? They went and pulled a fright disgusting Mavilders face on the cat.
Why are you practicing bucking?
Well, when Alex attacks me again, I can defend myself better. Oh, well, maybe we'll run away.
That's good.
Glad you thought that line read was good. Someone in the world should, I guess. Nothing else is going on in this movie, so might as well jump, 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 jump. But oh, that's far too much for farmer incompetence. The animals can run off into the forest whenever, but bouncing is really crossing it. Most you cross it. Dead!
Piglets are not supposed to be outside, hopping around and practicing bucking.
I thought you understood me.
Our relationship is over. Well, it was built on lies anyway, so it was never going to last.
And that's when I ran away.
Ah, of course. Suddenly, German vagabond pig with a mustache.
You don't know what happens to us when we grow big like me.
We're taken from here to go to another farm where we have babies of our own.
Oh, you believed in that fairy tale. No, Janis, that's all rubbish. We do not get taken to a farm, but to a slaughterhouse.
That was a good, amazing way to break that.
Hey, look, that hobo pig made the mistake of coming back!
Where are you going now?
I've heard that there are pigs in the woods. Huh, they don't belong to anyone.
Those are wild pigs.
And no one tells them to behave like a pig.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Whoa, hobo pig just got bye-byed by a baby. What a loser.
What if what Mr. Miller says is true, and that's why I should get big and fat to be turned into pork chops later?
Bambi loves that idea. Wait a second, Bambi was behind this whole operation. It's all revenge for losing his mother. Alright, well, in the last few minutes, it's time for this thing's rather messed up plot to actually start as the meat truck arrives on the farm.
What's this about?
We're gonna eat the title character. Laugh along with us, kids.
You've just been sold, Janis.
Help! Help! You're supposed to become a roast suckling pig.
Your only hope is a spider to write things in her web about you, but I had a greaterest idea ever and ate her, my bad. Also, I'm the size of a goat now. So, where did these other full-grown pigs come from? They weren't on the truck first. Did all the other animals on the farm just shun these guys?
Help me, please!
A short life.
Who is this for? Really? But don't worry, it's about to get worse.
Ooh, looks like the slaughterhouse is just over in Notre Dame. Hey, I'll take all the pigs off you and eat them live!
Wow. Maybe that's why this one didn't get made into a game. Though that would imply that Phoenix Games and Midas Interactive had some standards. I don't know about that. Dingo probably just forgot they had this one to sell them. This is a fairly heavy subject to present when it's the main character's people getting slaughtered, and it's fairly graphic imagery, at least as far as Dingo goes. And seeing as this is Dingo, you know they aren't actually going to make any real point about this. It's just dumped on the viewer, then fairly quickly ignored, even by jerk-ass Janis.
Oh, another one. It's getting damn crowded in here.
They're going to kill us. We must run away.
Oh, rubbish. Run away.
No need to run away when you can fly! Just evolve with me, Janis! Science!
We're all to be killed. Alex heard them, and Mr. Miller. He told me so, too.
Killed? What rubbish are you talking about?
We can't see the dead pigs over to the side of us there. Janis is seriously the only one who's ever noticed that. Janis decides even though these pigs are stupid, she's gotta say, just kidding. She gets them to help her escape and leaves them to their lovely fate.
All of these pigs are so dead. What a lovely movie this is.
Janis even runs over to the Crunchbone estate, complete with the no-sprayed fence where Waboo does his wooing.
Hooray! I made it! I won!
I won!
Oh shit, the birds are gonna turn her in! Oh yeah, wait, they aren't real characters, they aren't gonna do anything. Janis then meets up with old Pedo Pig, who's apparently turned into a warthog or something in the wild. You know, that's how that works, and the mustache just had to go. That might mean Jason's inside that pig now. We know how he feels about mustaches.
This is unbelievable. I know you. You're Janis. It was the best decision I ever made to become a wild pig.
I would love to join you, may I?
But of course.
Yay! The little girl's gonna live in the woods with the creepy old guy. Happy ending?
What do you think? Is Janis dead already?
Don't you dare eat canned food again.
Why not?
You said it contains 40% pork. That could be 40% of Janis.
You know, them now knowing this shit kind of raises a lot of questions, like are they just gonna go and lie to the rest of the pigs, or is Janis the only one the other animals ever gave a remote crap about?
Janis, stay warm, Janis!
Well, thank God. Now I can continue to eat canned food.
Janis will come with me and become a wild pig like I have. I promise you, Margot, that I'll look after your daughter until she's big enough to look after herself.
Yes, I suppose that would be best for Janis. She would never have really become a house pig.
It's funny you still believe that lie, Mom. Oh, and all my brothers and sisters, you guys have a nice death.
So Janis and Pedo Pig go to live in the past with Pocahontas, I guess. Maybe Waboo left one of his time portals open? Oh well, I suppose this situation isn't that creepy as the old guy watches the little girl bathe. Ew! Dingo! Do you put any thought into these? What is this, my first time watching one of these? This feels like they just made the story up as they went along, which is probably the case for a lot of these Dingo tales. But they went down a fairly dark path and said, Janis can live with a pervert in the woods the rest of her life, but the family will die. The end! Wait a second, that mud puddle was going into the bush. I can't believe there was a mistake in this.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just drink these pigs' blood.
Most of Dingo Pictures movies are so stupid.
You realize that includes you as well, Waboo. That line you just said, Waboo, is so brilliant. I could have come up with it.
I'm going to get my axe.
Yeah, why don't you turn that cat into dog food, Waboo? Wait a second, that'll probably actually happen. No, cut!
I don't like this movie. It doesn't seem too friendly. These monsters seem so fake. My nerves, they're gonna break. Please don't let me down. You need to be around. Grab that running one up and blast that scene a new one.
Guys, I think I found Jamie. They were actually in the movie.